3 wives as a Muslim. Go for wife. Bring her home is better than side chick. Once she's in your house, she cannot be side chicken again. She will be only for you. So that is the something there. So I don't encourage people to have side chicks. But if you have power, if you have the means, you can have 2 wives if you can take care of them. If you don't have the means, stay with one. Stay with one so that your wahala will be one. But if you can take care of everything, if it gets 2, so that you take care of the 2 wahalas. Because God has been doing wonderfully everything for me. Nothing, I don't have any problem in my life. You'll be surprised that my dad never slapped me. Never rebuked me, never slapped me.
You are welcome to the platform. My name is Olokooba Silva. I'm the anchor for this program. The next 30 minutes to 1 hour, I'll be taking you through our guests. The platform treats issues on economy, commerce, politics, religion, international relations and diplomacy, and all issues about human endeavor. With me on the program today is
Professor S.M. Olokooba of the Department of Business Law, Faculty of Law, University of Ilorin. I'm the current HOD Business Law. Thank you.
All right, sir. Can you to make a critique of the 24 budgets?
Yes. Basically, budget itself, what it is. Everybody will say budget. Budget is simply a comprehensive financial plan that outlines the anticipated income, expenses, and general spending of a particular country in a year. And virtually, globally, all over the world, countries present budgets each year, so that people will know how much they are expecting to come in as a revenue and how much they are going to spend that year, so that they can fulfill their civic responsibility as the citizen will fulfill their own civic responsibility too. Now, on the issue of 2024 budget, that budget, when it was presented, it was tagged that budget of renewal hope. That was how the budget was tagged. Actually, if you look at that budget, and if you look at the amount that was passed as the budget, initially it was 27.5 trillion that was presented to the National Assembly, but that money was jacked up to 28.7 trillion. Why? How? Then would that even sustain the economy? Would that even allow for the hope of the people? They say it's a renewal hope. Would that even meet that hope and yearnings of Nigeria? If you look at the breakdown of that budget, you get it? You say education will take 2.18 trillion, which is about 7.9% of that budget. And health will take 1.33 trillion, which is about 5% of the budget of the entire money. Then they now say defense and security, that will take 3.25 trillion. If you look at that, is 12% of the entire budget, and the infrastructure 1.32. Then this other one, social and development, they said that one will take 534 billion or so, which is just 2%. If you look at this budget critically, if we should be sincere and faithful with ourselves, I don't think it's a real budget of renew hope. Because before you can say something is a renew hope, that hope must be actualized. That hope must meet the yearnings of the people. But if you look at this money, if you break it down further, you now see that recurrent expenditure will now be about 9.95 trillion. You get it? Why the capital expenditure will now be 8.7 trillion. And now, the one that will now take bulk of this money is now debt servicing. Debt servicing will now take about 8.25 trillion. Now this is where the problem lies. You said this is a budget of renewed hope. Hope, that means you are ready to give something to the common people, the common man. You want them to give them job. You want them to take them away from poverty. You want to help them in those regards. But you are now saying that vast part, the bigger part of this money will now go to budget or debt servicing. Debt servicing. How will debt servicing will not benefit the populace? Do you now see where the problem lies? And that is why if you now look at this budget critically and fairly enough, even though the government has presented their own, but if we look at it critically, I don't think it can meet the yearnings of the common masses, because vast part of this money will go into debt servicing. If it goes there, nothing will be for education, nothing will be for health. So our people will continue going abroad for health issue. Our people will still be yearning, oh, no money for education, this. So I think the amount I mark for debt servicing is not up to this. Then we can say that this budget will not be effective and will bring people out of poverty. So this cannot alleviate or cannot solve poverty issue, because vast part of the money, larger part of the money, the chunk of the money will go to debt servicing. So if it goes there, what will be left? Nothing in actual fact. So this budget actually is a huge amount. It's a very huge amount of money, because if you look at it, even from 2020, in 2020 it was 10.7 trillion that was passed as budget. In 2021, 13.08 trillion. In 2022, it was around 17.12 trillion. In 2023, it was 21.8 trillion. But this one is 28.7. Despite that, the larger part of this money will go into debt servicing. So the issue is technical. It's technical, because where they're supposed to allocate or mark higher money that will be beneficial to the Nigerians, it's not where they are marked. Where they're supposed to put more money that will be beneficial, that they can use for the benefit of Nigeria, it's not where they put chunk of the money. Where they are putting more money now is the same cycling, it's the same repetition. It's what we are doing before. It's what we are doing. So I am afraid I don't think there is going to be much difference. I don't expect much difference. Yes.
Could it be that the federal government is trying to settle our debt so that the economy can better?
My brother, my area is taxation and fiscal policy regulations. It's not as easy as that. It's not that when you pay your debt, then you now be buoyant or you be richer to have money. No! The problem is, do you have something you can give out to get forex, to get foreign money? You get it? See our oil industry. See all these industries. Is there anyone functioning? No. You get it? So we are not exporting anything. You get it? We want to continue importing, and we want to say that we will not stop paying debt. We'll continue paying debt and nothing will be coming in. Even if they take all the whole budget, use it to service the budget, that will not solve the situation. The problem is that let us work on our own domestic issue too. Let our refinery start functioning. You get it? If it start functioning, we export this, not that we take crude there and bring in this thing. Then we are taking things out. Our mineral resources we have them in large quantities in this country. Let us work on them. Let us be exporting them. When we now export, we get money. We now use this to now execute the project or the budget. But in this case now, we are taking loan to execute loan. So the debt will continue piling up. So it's just like that. It's not as simple as, okay, let me pay my debt so that the money will, no. You are paying the debt. When you are paying the debt, do you have anything substantial to give out so that you can take foreign currency? No. You continue, as you are paying one, you are taking one. As you are paying one, you are taking one. So you continue circumambulating the same circle.
Okay. The manner in which the fuel subsidy was removed.
See, sincerely speaking, if I must be factual and fair to this government, the removal of fuel subsidy is okay, but it was removed at the wrong time. at the wrong time. You get it? Know that the first subsidy is not doing us any good. Fine. But how do you remove subsidy without having hyper negative effect on the populace? How? The problem is that you remove something without ready for the palliative, without ready to caution the effects. I think maybe the government put something substantial on ground, a plan, good plan on ground, how to alleviate, to minimize people's suffering before removing the subsidy. It wouldn't have been like this. But they just remove it without necessarily preparing for the effect, how to caution the effect on the populace. And that is why if you see the rate of inflation is going geometrically, is flying, and that is now making government to be confused of how can we now solve this problem. How can we now break palliative? They are trying. They say okay, 35%. They say 25,000 to the household. The 35,000 naira. All this, but that cannot solve the problem now, because the problem on ground is now higher and serious more than that. I think some of these palliative, some of these cushion effects are on ground before gradual removal. It can be removed gradually or silently. One of the problems in Nigeria is that before the execution of a program, everybody will hear. The market woman will hear. Those at the displays will hear. Everyone. So people will now be prepared. And Nigeria, another thing that we don't pity ourselves. We don't pity. We always take advantage of any situation. They say, they've removed the subsidy. So people will now just be tripling the amount they are selling things without waiting for how much they are removing. Is it not that the government shouted last month? People have been saying that fuel is going 1,200, whereas it's not official yet. But because of rumor, and before you know that day, long queue started. Springing up. It sprang up everywhere. You get it? So that's the problem. It was removed without commensurate palliative or cushion remedy. That was what now bastardized everything.
How best do you think the system can run so that we can be at par with other developed nations?
You see, our major problem is ourselves. We must be sincere. Our major problem is ourselves. And the first thing we have to fight against in this country is corruption. Corruption is so high, so common in almost all the system. This corrupt attitude, this fraudulent attitude, it must stop. That is the best thing. That's the best thing. Those that are in the National Assembly, they should see that those that elected them to go there, they are there on trust. They should not disappoint people. They should not allow that trust to go. They should not break that trust. So corruption, if we can remove corruption from our system in this country, that will solve over 90% of our problem.
Is it possible?
Why is it not possible? I was not born with corruption. You are not born with corruption. Nobody is born with corruption. But the problem is fear. It's what is making people now see corruption as a normal something. Fear. And what is fear? Today I'm buying this thing for 1,000. Hey, it may be 5,000 tomorrow. So when you now have opportunity, small opportunity, where you can get some small money, they will say, let me take my own. Corruption continues. Then those that were elected there, they too, they are not so sincere with us. Sincerity in the sense that when they get there, they should have fear of God. They should know that those that elected them, they put them there on trust. So they should not fear God and try to now give that trust the best way, to serve it the best way they should. Look, some weeks back now, some issues, people are talking about this palliative from the federal government to the House of Rep to the Senate. How many of them have delivered this thing or delivered it in their constituencies? Let's just be sincere. How many of them? And if not that man, I've forgotten that senator or that, you see, others, they just kept quiet. In other states, in most of the states, That's part of corruption. That's part of they don't have fear of God. Because this arise, people, my brother, people are hungry. Serious. If Nigeria eats today, this morning, if they eat in the morning, they don't know, they are not sure of eating in the afternoon. They are not even sure of eating at night. It's as serious as that. So corruption, we must check that first. Then secondly, civic responsibility. Both the government and the citizen must be ready to exhibit or execute our civic responsibility. Payment of tax. The citizen must be ready to pay their tax promptly. They should pay it. And once it is paid, government must also be ready to use it transparently. You get it? To use it for the benefit or beneficial purpose of Nigeria. So corruption, civic responsibility. Then another thing is that government should try to be putting round peg in a round hole, not square peg in a round hole. No, they should put the right people in the right position. All of us cannot be in the right position, in the position. But if you put right people, you get it, then that person must know, he or she will know the right thing to do, and they will do it. Then we should be ready to learn from the advanced economy. We should be ready to learn. Because they are not God, they are not angel, they are not so special, but they know that how this thing should be done. If we see good thing, we should imbibe it from there and we do it. Then we should be transparent in whatever we are doing. Then our budget should be more of our database. We should be a budget of physical and executory budget. The budget that we can execute, not just projection. It should be real budget, the one that will meet the actual level or percentage of inflation. Now this money, you know how much dollar is to a naira? It's about 1,235 black market. 1,235. And in the budget they presented, they put it on either 90 or 750 per dollar. They now put it on 750 per dollar to make the budget. The dollar is now 1,235 or so. So how would they be able to execute it? The disparity is too much. So they should make it on reality. Once it is on reality and on fact, then the budget will be able to execute it, and then it will serve the purpose for which it is implemented for.
Is it possible to eradicate the parallel markets and just make it one market system?
You see, it's possible, but it's not a straightforward thing. It's possible, but it's not a straightforward jacket thing. Government wanted to try it, but the mistake, the error they made was, instead of bringing it down, they jump up. They want to make it parallel. Now instead of now using their own managerial or executive power on it to now bring the one that is up to come down to the level of the official rate, government now move up to meet the black market. That is not fair to the populace. At in that time, they said, okay, black market, it was 1,050 naira, for example, and official rate is 800 naira. Government can implement, and it says that, okay, the black market should now come down to that 800 and this thing. So it will be parallel. So if they will be moving, they will be moving together. But now, instead of starting like that, they now went up to join the parallel. So already vacuum has already been created. Suffering has already started. So, and those people that now went to, those up there, that you now went to join, they will not say, okay, so let us, it's either we remain here, no loss, nothing. So it's possible. It depends on technicalities on how they manage it. Because forest is basically 97% of the forest issue is government issue. It's government issue. So if they want to make it that way, it's possible, but sincerity and firmness, you get it? If it is done that way, they can control. We have seen in this country where we have what we call price control. In this country, I bought a milk that time, though I was small, but I bought it 5 kobo. When people started selling 20 naira, government now control the price. We bought it 5 kobo. If you did not sell it, or if you refuse to sell it 5 kobo, they will come to your shop, open it, and they will ask people to come and buy 5 kobo. People are forced to come down to that level.
Okay, does it mean democracy is not actually suiting us? Because that thing you're talking about is only possible during a military regime.
Democratic setting. Democracy is not the problem, but the way we are practicing it. Because of our corruptive mind, we are not making it to work. Because we don't fear God. Because we are not pitful of our situation ourselves. We are not making it to work. Somebody that purchased something for 5 naira now in Nigeria, instead of selling it the second day for 520 kobo, gaining 20 kobo, he will prefer to hold it and wait till when the thing is not so much in market, he will now begin to sell it for 10 naira. Not that democracy is not working, but if we look at the issue of democracy itself, when you are talking about democracy, you are talking about the legislative arm, executive arm, judicial arm. Fine. The problem is, are all these arms allowed to function independently? Except and until when they are functioning effectively and independently of one another, democracy will not strive. The reason is that if one is influencing the other, if one is controlling the other, instead of checking, there is difference from controlling and checking. You get it? If you are checking me, my essence, you check it. It will be limited. It will not come. But if you are controlling me, because you have my financial power, because you are the one giving me money, you get it? It will not allow. If the judiciary are allowed to function independently without any interference, if the executive is functioning, you get it? If the judiciary, executive, and others are functioning independently and perfectly, democracy will function. Democracy will be okay. But we are practicing democracy in a form of autocracy. I'm telling you, democracy in Nigeria is being practiced in form of autocracy. For example, some states, which I will not mention, up to now, they don't have the local government arm. It's not alive. It's not in place, despite series of judgments. We have seen in states, many states, that they've gone to court, they sued the governor, the government of that state, the government, those people, they will win. The government will not still conduct local government election. That is at the roots, local government level. The state government are not allowing local government to function. You get it? And we say democracy. It's democracy in autocracy. It's as simple as that. Anything that the governor wish or wanted to effect or to execute in his state is what will happen. You get it? And so also at the federal level, it's the same thing. If the president wants something to happen in any state, my brother, it will happen no matter what. The worst is for them to mobilize all the money in the country, take it there. And what do we want, Nigerians? Because of this awareness, you see money, you take it there instead of allowing. Because the beauty of democracy is even the minority, they will have a say, while the majority will have their way. But in this one, the minority will not even talk again. They'll keep quiet. So it's like that. It's like that.
Okay. If we are to fashion out a kind of made in Nigeria democracy, how do you think it can be structured in a way that democracy will now suit our system, considering the traditional setup and our cultural system?
Well, that is in another area entirely. I'm not in the area of political science. However, because as a lawyer, what we know is that separation of power is so beautiful. Once this power is separated, once everybody is allowed to function and nobody is above the law, things will be normal. The only problem is that some people, they believe and they are acting as if they are above the law. And once that continue, then since there's nobody to check them, then what will happen? It will not work. If everybody is performing, behaving and working below or under the law, if we see every one of us as somebody below the law and the law is above all of us, then things will work out perfectly. You get it? So if we want to fashion it out, we should first of all look at our law. We should first of all respect the law. We should first of all ready to do our civic responsibility. The government should be ready to now do their own responsibility too. Then we should have fear of God.
Don't you think martial law as operating in China and the rest of the Asian world that makes them progress will be applicable to us in Nigeria?
When you are talking about that, sir, if you say martial law is working here, what about America, UK, and the way democracy is working? It depends. Everything depends on law. That martial law you said is law. It's because they are obeying that law. It's because all of them see themselves as below the law and the law is above them. In America, that is not martial law. It's because they believe that nobody is above the law, and that is why President of America can be sued by anybody. You see, the first thing in Nigeria, the first one in Nigeria is that, of which I'm also one of the advocates, that we should remove this immunity clause from the Constitution. We should remove it. The governor, the head of state, we should remove the immunity clause. Because when they know that, well, anything they do, once they are in power, they are governor, they are president, they are this, they are that, they are immune. Nobody will ask them. Nobody will query them. Now, after leaving the office, this is where the problem lies. After leaving the office now, where will they? They will run away. So it will not be easy to now hold them accountable. I think they will remain. They will run away. And when they run away, what will happen? Nothing again. But if we remove that immunity clause, let us remove it, they will have small fear. They will know, if I do this thing, this person can sue me. If I do this, people can talk about this. You get it? And we should all say ourselves that nobody is above the law, because it's not good, it's not fair for any governor or president or minister to disobey court judgments. But many of them, they are doing it. They are doing it now. And if they don't do that, then what is it? That is why it's not working. It's not democracy that is the problem in itself, but we don't respect the law again.
All right, sir. Let us digress a bit. Reading through your biography and what people say about you, they said you were a former professor in the field of magic. So how did Professor of Magic become Professor of Academics?
Well, it's funny, but everything we should give thanks to God. We should give thanks to God. Actually, I myself, I just believe it's just favor of God on me. I started as a theater boy and a magician. Sincerely speaking, a very popular magician. In this state, Kwara State, I was the president of Kwara State Magic Practitioner. And Professor Pella, late Professor Pella, may his soul rest in perfect peace, he was my boss. I followed him for some time. I used to perform magic on television. I believe it's God's favor, Sha. That was where I started. You know, everybody has his own struggling period. That was my struggling time, and then I could remember there was this brother Patrick in my secondary school. The man is a white man, so they used to invite white magician from whatever, I don't know, maybe from UK or anywhere, to come to our school, my secondary school there, Mount Carmel College, Ilorin. So when they come, they will perform it. But I used to discover one thing: if they try to hide something, I don't know I don't know whether it's God gift or anything, I will see it. It's a gift. It's a natural gift, or I can say spiritual gift. I will see it. Then after the show, I will not go and meet that white Brother Patrick. But that thing, I saw how the man did it now. So the man now invited me to himself. Say, you have talent, are you? So I started like that, small. Then I learned it. I travel. I went to School of Herb and Magic, Kaduna, Kakuri, get to learn more. Then that was how I started, small. So I was a magician actually, and a theater practitioner. So
okay, talking magic now.
Yeah.
Does it involve charms or just tricks?
Both, to be sincere. You see, if I want to go and perform at primary school, kindergarten, I'll perform what we call PAMI. PAMI is just twisting of hand. Twisting of hand. It's not magic per se. Twisting of hand, you get it. That one is smartness, being smart, But when it comes to going to big hotel to perform, I could remember in 2004 so, when this man Orlando sang a song, Lalagbon, he came to Kwara Hotel. I was invited as a guest performer that day. When we want to perform in such an occasion, we use both spiritual, magical, and PAMI all together, because they are elderly people, so they will see. You get it? So there was this magic that we used to do. That one, I will take the tongue of my junior brother. That the guy is late now. I will take it out, then I will cut it. I'll cut it. It's not. Yes, it's not trick. When I did that magic that day, Orlando will now call me. He said, "Come, let me see." He now touched the remnant of that tongue. When I wanted to join it back, I'm telling you, what used to take me 10 minutes to rejoin, it took me 30 minutes. I could not rejoin it. I'm telling you, this is a real fact. I could not rejoin it. I was sweating. But later, I now left the stage. I went back. There must be solution for everything. When I came back again, I rejoined it. The man now called me. He shook me. That was what joined me with Orlando. He invited me to his house. So when magic is both jams and logic, that is just it.
So how did you come about jams?
Jams. One, my background. My dad, the dad of my mom's dad, okay, something like that. You must have been hearing Itamodu in Kwara State. That Amadu is the father of my mom. He's the first king of herbalists in the whole Kwara State. He has accounts. My mom inherited that account. It's apps. But there are some things there that, even though they are used for curative apps, but if you look at it, it look magical. That was where I started. For example, now, if I stand up and I ask you to put sand somewhere, and I match the sand, and I say, pick this sand. You pick them, you fold it. After folding, if you open it, I can tell you will not see the sand inside it again. You will see the leg of camelon. It's jam. It is a protective jam that they used in the olden days, so that, because they used to do bad things against one another time. So, but if you pick my own leg, you will not be able to do anything to me. That is it. Then another thing is that I develop much interest in it, because I discovered that this curative arm or jams of a thing, apps, basically apps, there are many things that is happening or is affecting people that if you take apps, it will go. For example, now, if you take a needle, there is a word you can say to it. If you say it, you can seal your mouth, and a drop of blood will not come out.
Just by what?
Just by word. Because everything has its own name. Yes, everything has its own name. Assuming now there is snake bite, you get it? And you now saw that snake, and you now just utter something, that snake will stop. It won't go. You see? All this one. It won't run away. It will just stand there and be looking. You get it? It won't go. Just because everything has its own name, spiritual name. So all those ones, so I went into it, I learned it, I went to the school, then I developed, then So that is how I got that.
African power?
African power. Well, if you call it African, I believe is jam, sir. Jams is jam. I don't know whether it's African power because so both they are doing it. The time, I think there was a time I traveled to India. You get it? I discovered that most of what we don't value here, they value it over there. The only thing is that their own religion is different from African religion. But most of these things, they value it and they make use of it. So it depends on how we see it or how we appreciate it. That's
so religion is apart.
It's apart. No, religion, you see, religion is different and separate from this concept of jams of a thing that you talk about. No, you can be a religious person and you have the idea and knowledge of this thing. Mainly the constituents of jams are roots and herbs. The Fensic we are drinking, the Panadol we are taking, they are made from roots and herbs with some small chemical to solidify it. As you see me, I hardly take white man medicine, quote and unquote. If I have fever now, let's say I have fever, I'll go and get some herbs, some roots and herbs. I'll boil them, I'll take it, it will go. Look at it. So it's like that. It's like that.
But if it comes to using herbs and roots and need incantation, how would you get the incantation?
No. There are some that you don't even need incantation. Okay. There are some you need incantation. There is a particular leaf that they call Enyolobe. Okay. Enyolobe is a very, very effective and powerful leaf. If somebody is having body pain or a kidney stone, he can use that to cure it. No incantation, nothing. Just boil it, then take it 3 days for a week. Yes, interval. It will go. Don't be surprised when you are stressed out and you want to sleep at night. Just take that and boil it like tea. Drink it. It will go. If you have body pain all around your body, take it, squeeze it, drink it. It will go. Just the work, the thing that Panadol will do. It will also do it. So that one is another area entirely. You don't need incantation. If the other one that needs that you need to use incantation, that one, it has a kind of association with spiritual world. I must be sincere. Okay, for example, if that of stream my mouth now and I say something, it's not ordinary again. That is it. So it's like that.
Now, if at a tender age, was it the accounts you have access to that give insight into all these things, or you are born spiritually gifted?
I think I was born spiritually gifted because I started seeing some of these things that other ordinary eyes could not see when I was in secondary school. Then when I was young also, even my colleagues, even my colleagues, I used to tell them, it was my dad that cautioned me, if somebody will die. So before, when I was young, I would tell the person that, I dreamed that this person will die, and that person will die. So my dad cautioned me. That was when I started noticing such things. Then when I got to secondary school, I started saying these things. So in fact, my colleagues in secondary school, Mount Carmel College, they know in my hostel, if they are looking for something, if they are looking for it, they say they could not see it. If I just go, I will see it. I will not show it to them. There was an instances too. Up to now, occasionally, that one, I think the thing is still in my system. I could remember about 3. I was already a lecturer. They went for one conference or so. Then the whole money I wanted to use for that program got lost. I was not there. So they were looking for it. This thing happened in my faculty, in real life. So they were looking for it. Me, I was in the hostel, I was sleeping. So my dean then was Professor Abikan. You get it? So they've all gone there to look for it, and they just came. I now heard them. They said, hey, where is this money now? They've been looking for it. So I now came out. And I went to that place where that, sincerely speaking, when I got there, I just saw the thing like this. Even though it was already covered with sand, I said, dig this place. They dug it and they removed that money. You get it? So the thing, something will just tell me that is it.
What if you are being accused as the one that put it there?
Because they cannot accuse me. One, all of them saw me when I was in the hostel. They left me in the hostel. When they went to that place to do what they wanted to do, I was not there. I was not even feeling fine to go and do anything that time. So, and if not, I heard them talking, shouting, say, hey, what now? I will go to do it now. I will not come out. And when I came out, I now asked them, what happened? But they, all the money. I said, okay, let us go back. We now went back. So I said, okay, oh yeah. So they cannot accuse me.
But somebody definitely kept it there.
That one I can't say. I think what happened was that whether they put there and they forgot or somebody took it and deliberately, that one I cannot say. I don't know how it got there.
Okay, that power cannot dictate who put it there.
No. It will only show it to me. It will show it to me. Assuming you put 3 things in a bowl that time, if you say which one is in this one, what is in this one, what is this one, I will tell you without opening it. So I believe this is God's gift.
Okay. Don't that exploit of doing magic, assuming you perform the magic and like Orlando did to you to counter your efforts.
Okay.
If it doesn't eventually succeed, what is the way out?
Well, everything has its own hazardous part. The danger in everything, but you must be ready as you are going out. You must be ready that anything may happen. You must be ready on how to counter it. You get it? If this thing now turn negatively, what can we do? You must be ready. So you'll be prepared. I remember when I was in my first degree, my first degree was in linguistics, and I used to perform magic at the African Hall, the University of Ilorin. That I was a student, then I now booked the hall. So I was performing. So this some students that believe so much in religion of a thing, so they surrounded the hall and they were now saying this man will fail. No, before that day, a day to the show, I went to the hostel, and now on getting there, I now met this guy who was praying. Let this man fail. This magician that is coming, he's a devil. He's this. I now sat down. So when he finished praying, I now say amen. I said, do you know this magician they are talking about? He said, they are all devilish. He's a devil. I said, you like the man if you see him? He said, no, I cannot. I said, he's a good friend of yours. He said, no. And I said, I'm the magician. I'm the one that is coming to perform tomorrow. He said, no. God forbid, it cannot be you. You. I now explained to him that magic is like a game. We see it as a game. It's an entertainment. So the second day now, when I was in the hall, I was performing. Some of them are shouting. I did my show. After the show, the third day I now went to the hostel. I said, I performed yesterday. Why was that no? Yes. The guy said, I don't know. I now say, let me explain to you. It's not every magic that is diabolical. No, magic is entertainment. Magic is different from diabolical things. We're only doing it to entertain people. You see, I can teach you. You know it. I can do it. He said, I don't understand. So you see, it's like that. But however, if you are going to either public place, because I used to entertain people at the public market that time too. That one, my brother, you have to be prepared. You be prepared though. It's not ordinary. It's not ordinary.
That means there is a court that you must belong to be able to do that.
That one, the word court is ambiguous, because we have done everything. The way we use court now is different. You get it ahead. So you don't necessarily have to belong.
Association.
Yes, we have association that time. We have association. I told you I was the president. Kwara Magic Practitioners. We have Nigerian Magic Practitioners that time. Pella was our president. You get it. We have associations that we talk, we share experience, we train ourselves, all those things. Then we sponsor ourselves. Those are that will wish to further in the knowledge of the something, to go abroad, we contribute, all those things. So we see it as an entertainment.
Do this exists now?
The association, they exist, but not as strong as years before. The reason being that after the death of late Professor Pella, now some of us we still took it up, but you see education and diversification. For example, this guy, and I've just forgot his Pella's son, Saburi, you get it. One of them is a pastor now. No time to do that. Then there is this other one too. He's also a magician, but he's also a lawyer. You get it. So all of us will have diversified. We are into many other areas. So we are not really performing it again. So that's why the association is not.
So how did that experience of magic help you in your academics?
Well, I cannot say your question. I understand. I understand. I can say that it helped my memorization, because in law you have to cram most cases. You get it. And that magic, I cram a lot of incantation and this and that before. So that's really what I can say it helped me. But no other way around. I don't see questions. Yes. Let me say that clearly. So I only read my paper and I'll pass. I used to entertain my colleagues in class that time. I used to entertain my colleagues. Even when I was in law school, I entertained. So that's it.
So how did you meet your wife? Is it through magic?
My wife, my beloved wife. It's not true magic. It's not true magic. See, she was the 8th girl of a school, and I went to that school to perform. You get it? So I was just hearing noise. I said, let me enter. I'm the social prefect. I'm the social prefect. Why would I enter? So I now look like this. Who are the people shouting? Because I was already on stage, dancing, singing opening glee. So when I now look, I now saw this lady. I said, why? And I said, I'm the social prefect. And they asked me to pay before I enter. No, I now told my manager. I said, no, allow her to enter. So when she entered after the show, I now say, but why are you doing it? They say, why won't I do that? You money theater, you always. And that time I was in Kwara Poly. She thought that I'm a non-entity. I said, I now say, come, young lady. Don't say money theater now. As you see me, you are in secondary school. I'm in Polytechnic. He said, no. Money theater. I said, I'm in Polytechnic. I started speaking English. So I now say, okay. And you know that I can say Omokomo. Fortunately and unfortunately, her brother was my friend, but I didn't know before. And I went to my brother's house our brother's house one day, and I saw. I said, so you know this guy? You know? I said, I know. I said, if you know what she did in my show, I said, that was how I met her. I planned with my friend. I said, please let me call her. Sat her down. I will come in the evening. She didn't know. So in the evening, I now came and now met her. I said, how are you? What is the Sekosi? I'm a Polytechnic student now. That was how everything started. So that was where I met her. But I later introduced her to magic.
She knows it.
Yes, and we're doing it together. We performed together. I did a lot of things with her, so we performed together. We got to this level together.
Okay, now as a father in the home,
okay,
how do you relate with your children and the entire members?
My brother, I didn't mean they are here. I would have asked you to ask them. Very cordial, very jovial, loving. I don't think there is anything I love more than my children.
And they are not afraid of you?
At all. I don't joke with them. I'm not harsh. My children, they can do anything with me. If they are here, in fact, my last born, who is a girl, she can even be pulling my bed now. You see, all of them, none of them are afraid of me. Why should they be afraid? They are my friend, though. All of them are my friend. In fact, my inaugural lecture, that's why you see, I address them as my friend. I address them, the one that is a lawyer, I call him my learning friend, my friend. Those that are twins, I say, all of them, the last one, that one even resemble my mom too much. So I call her Iyaropo Kyotolo, and I even gave her the name of my mom. So they were so cordial like that. My home is I thank God. I thank God. The way my home is, I only thank God. It's not my making, but it's so perfect.
You're a typical Ilorin man. Right?
Yes.
During the period of your performing magic,
yes,
you must have encountered some resistance, hostilities from your people.
Yes.
How are you able to?
Yes. Number one, because I don't joke with my prayer. They see me in mosque. We do everything together. So I make sure that I try hard to let them understand that performing magic is just as if Alhaji Labaika is singing waka. There is this Alhaji Labaika in Ilorin, a popular waka man. So that this is just entertainment, one. Then two, the reason why I did not get much antagonism or antagonist is that they knew that the dad of my mom is a traditional herbalist. So you get it? So all of them believe that I'm only showing the craft of the dad of my mom. So you get it? So that made it easy for me. If they want to do naming ceremony, they call me. I perform there. So they don't see it as anything strange, because I came from that home, because of that influence of the dad of my mom, and because of the influence of you know that my mom is also into roots. Yes, she's a traditional nursing. These nursing practitioners, if you want to give birth, all those things, if they have cancer of the breast, all those things, my mom, she can cure it. She knows how to cure it very well. Cancer of the breast? I'm telling you, she will cure it perfectly, and she will not collect much money. I've not seen my mom collecting up to 5,000 in curing anything. In fact, I will be telling her, she will now sell that Adubarika Loju. So that's her. So she cure everything, and so that makes it easy for me, and people understand with me.
All right, as a professor,
yeah,
have you thought it fit to sit down and compile all those herbal formulas into a book for people to also benefit?
Yes, I started working towards that after my inaugural lecture. You know, before inaugural lecture, I believe I was still on a journey until when you present your inaugural paper, before you know that yes, you have completed a chapter. You get it? So I now want to see the other area I can explore. As I'll be exploring my area of specialization too, which is taxation and fiscal policy regulation, this other one that I have the knowledge, that I have the gift, I think there is a way I can compile it too now for people to use, because this root and herbs is effective
and they are not against religion.
No. You don't need taxation. You don't need anything. You get it? And they are effective. And if nobody is now storing them, nobody is compiling them, by the time all of them, my mom used to tell me that there was this herb that they used to drink during that time, because my mom is close to 120 something years now, and my mom can still trek as long as anywhere she wants to go. You get it? There was the time she had a small accident when they wanted to perform operation at the hospital, teaching hospital. The doctor called me. He said, look, this type of operation, if we do it, is only 1% that used to survive it. Can we do it? He said, and if we do the operation, this woman will not be as she is, so you have to get somebody for her. She will not be normal again. I called my people, I told them. They said, oh, let us just risk it. My brother will risk it too. Because she fell down, she now hit her head against something. So, surprisingly, we were discharged the 15th day. The doctor told me, he said, come, this is your mother. I don't know, she's not married. You know, we're expecting I was going to get somebody for her. Up till now, my mom is alive, fair and healthy. That day she came for my inaugural, nobody. She's still okay. No, she now told me that there was this concussion that their dad used to give them when they were young, that they take it once in a day. They won't take it again until 7 days. Until that 7th day, your mouth will not clear the bitterness. So they will give them small fried meat. It is that thing you'll be eating every day. He said, but I don't know it again. I believe that thing is immune something. You see, so it's like that. So there are more of these things. If we preserve it too, that's it. But now we are more of academics.
All right. So from our discussion, it's like you have only one wife. Why?
Yes.
Why?
Because I love my wife and I love my children. If I should come or bring another woman home now, you get it? That one will also want a share of the goodies. How will I be able to share it? This is the woman that suffered with me. We started together. I was going to 21. She was going to 19. We suffered together. We did all these things together. We built this thing together. It will not be fair for me to now bring somebody to now reap where that person did not show. That is it.
But in the traditional African setup,
yes,
people say that a man that loves his wife will always bring another woman to cooperate with her and join her with her in taking.
No. It's a man that loves himself that will bring another woman. A man that loves his wife will not bring another woman. Once you bring another woman, you are bringing that woman to shed and to protect yourself, because anyone like just be pushing themselves to each other, so you are protected. You get it? But if you love your wife, you will not take another woman. You get it? Though woman as they are, they will be troubling you, they will be fighting you, they will be doing, but just see as one of those things. After fight, settle it. After fight, settle it. Because you bring that one too, they will still be fighting you. You get it? But the fight may even be serious than what you thought you. So that's it. So it's the simple answer is that I love my children and I love the woman too. You get it? That's why I don't want to add another woman to it.
But that means whatever the case, whatever relationship a man will have must end at side chick outside.
I don't encourage men. As a Muslim, I don't encourage men to have side chicks, because the danger there is more than the benefits. Side chick are hardly having or staying with a single man. That's a fact. They may pretend, they may be smart enough. So if you can take anything from there, either disease or anything, that means you transfer it home. You transfer it home. Sincerely speaking, people don't believe, even my wife don't believe. As you see me, I don't have side chick. I am telling you, I don't have side chick.
That's why being this and so on.
I'm telling you, I don't have side chicks. And not because of anything, even because of myself. Because of myself. Because there are many diseases, there are many things. Now if you take it, before you know, you are gone, you are finished. So if this sufferness, all these things you have put together, the time for you to relax and enjoy it now, you now squander it on small side chicks. But if somebody wants to have another wife, I also not against it. If you have genuine reason to have 2, 3 wives as a Muslim, go for wife. Bring her home is better than side chick. Once she's in your house, she cannot be side chicking again. She will be only for you. So that is the something there. So I don't encourage people to have side chicks. But if you have power, if you have the means, you can have 2 wives if you can take care of them. If you don't have the means, stay with one. Stay with one so that your wahala will be one. But if you can take care of everything, if it gets 2, so that you take care of the 2 wahalas. It's as simple as that.
Hi everyone, I would love to urge you all to watch Newsbeam TV. It's educative, innovative, informative and entertaining. Thank you very much.